Hey, welcome to the 800-Pound Gorilla Expert Podcast, where we interview experts at helping you grow your business or your practice. I'm your host, Carl Utter, and now today's show. All right, in this episode of the 800-Pound Gorilla Podcast, we have Thor Conklin of Peak Performance. Thor is a peak performance consultant, speaker, trainer, and fellow podcaster. He provides profitability consulting and peak productivity workshops for teams. Listen in as Thor shares his expertise tonight to help you drive productivity and profitability. All right, I am here, folks, today with Thor Conklin from Peak Performance. Thor, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
I'm really glad you decided to take the plunge and join us today. So, Thor, tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're up to these days.
So I've been an entrepreneur for the last 21 years. I've started 4 or 5 companies. I purchased a company. I destroyed a company in the process, one of the companies, which was not
just one.
I only destroyed one, but I still got more time to go. It's only been 21 years so far. But it's interesting because the one I destroyed, not purposely, I call it a nonprofit because I just couldn't figure out how to make a profit in it.
I bet you that's the opportunity you learn the most in.
Really, success is not a good teacher.
Success is a terrible teacher. Success makes us rigid.
Oh, and I got cocky, and I got, I bought a business that I didn't speak the primary language of my customers.
There you go.
That might be a red flag to say, Thor, maybe this is not an area that you want to play in. But I saw the financials. I liked the industry. I liked the niche, and I was wrong.
Hey, hindsight's 20/20, baby.
Absolutely.
So, Thor, tell us a little bit about who is an ideal client for ThorConklin.com.
Yeah, so the ideal client for us is business that's doing between 2 million and 10 million. We've got a client that does $250 million, either frustrated because they're stuck or, hey, I've got a Lamborghini. I want to supercharge this thing.
Nice. So what problems do you help them solve?
Generally, and I think one of my clients put this the best because he said, we were introduced to him through a referral. And he said, one of the things is I didn't know the questions I needed to ask. I didn't see the things that I couldn't see them because I couldn't see them myself. And then you came in and you got very strategic in putting together a plan and then walking alongside us to get that plan. So the problems, one of the biggest problems that comes up is relationships with themselves, employees. It can be even spouses. It can be customers. It can be any relationship. It's really interesting because most of the entrepreneurs that we're dealing with know how to run a business. They know how to grow a business. But they don't know what's wrong. Like right now, we get to see if our hair is messy because we're on video. We can see ourselves on the screen. But we walk around all day long. And we have no idea what our hair looks like because we can't see it. But everybody around us is like, oh, man, look at that hairdo right there. He's got a
So one of the problems you help them solve is help them identify where their blind spots are. And it sounds like what you do is shine a light back in there to help them see what, you know what you know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know. And it sounds like you spend a lot of time helping them in those areas.
Absolutely. And another area which has become really interesting and probably in the last 6 weeks is one of the questions I ask is all my clients is, do you have a need to be liked? And like, why are you asking that question? And trust me, it's an important one. I said, we all want to be liked, but do you have a need to be liked? Some will say yes and some will say no. Doesn't really matter. And then the next question is, how do you know you did a good job? And some people immediately go, that's a stupid question. Of course I know I did a good job because I just know, right? Or they said, well, people tell me. I said, now let's look at this as a leader. And clients have done this. So it doesn't have anything to do with success, but it certainly has a lot to do with fulfillment and happiness.
Sure does. Yep.
If you need to be told by someone else that you did a good job and you have the need to be liked, how are you going to show up as a leader? How are you going to show up as a leader of that organization? Are you going to morph into a different person, say different things in the goal of trying to get them to like you? And then you need to have affirmation that you've done a good job versus a leader that says, A leader says, look, I know I did a good job, and I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to accomplish something. And we have a goal, and this is our strategy. And some clients aren't going to be aligned with that. Some people are.
We actually measure that in salespeople. We call that need for approval. Yeah. And we actually have an assessment that actually measures that in salespeople, because when you have somebody with high need for approval, what happens is the customer ends up running the sales call, not the salesperson. So that's good that you're getting with there. What are some common mistakes people make when they try to solve these problems without your help, Thor?
Yeah. Well, first of all, what happens is they're not even solving the problem. They're solving the symptom. If I ask a client, prospect, or anybody, what's your problem in your business? Oh, we don't have enough sales. I immediately know they're off track, because sales are not a problem. Sales are a symptom of an underlying problem. It's the marketing, it's the contents, the delivery, it's the customer service, whatever it is,
right?
There's something underlying. So if we attack the symptom, just like a headache, we don't have a lack of aspirin in our body, so we got to take aspirin to solve the headache. Something else is going on. So number one is figuring out what the true problem is versus the symptom is step one. The second part of that is, once you identify what that problem is, people think that they are missing something. And I see this continued quest on trying to figure out what the missing answer is. What am I missing? I just got to find that problem or that one thing. It's usually the elimination of something. There's somebody in the organization that's not performing the way they need to perform. They need to go.
So what's one free resource you could direct people to that would help them get them started? I know I've been on your website. I know you've got some great stuff on there. Maybe there's something there you could recommend our audience download and read, or you've got videos up there. I mean.
Yeah. I'll tell you, in this theme, because we just talked about it, if you send me an email to thor@thorconklin.com, I will send you, this is not going to be an autoresponder or anything like that. I will send you the 4-step process to getting to the root problem and start solving the problem versus the symptom. All I need you to do, and I'm going to respond to each one of these individually.
Okay. Send
me an email, but it's got to be 50 words or less. Identify for me what is the biggest problem facing your business. Now, I'll give you that process, and also I'll give you some feedback as well and some coaching or consulting if I've got some ideas on how you can attack that, or some resources. So I do these individually. It may take a little while to get back to everyone because I get flooded with these emails, but I'd be more than happy to do that for your audience.
In fact, I think that's such a good idea. At the end of this, I think I'm going to recommend something that will take that to the next level for our audience. But I'll check with you first before I throw that out there. I think you may like it, but right. But you do have other resources on your website.
Oh, absolutely. Right? If you go to thorconklin.com, we've got a whole list of resources there.
Yeah, I saw a couple things. In fact, when we hang up, I think I'm going to go back over there and check out some of that stuff.
The 7 execution killers.
That's what I saw. Yeah, that 7 execution killers. Cool.
But as a special thanks, I wanted to offer that to your listeners, where they'll get one-on-one response back from me.
We get to the part of the program that I like the best is I get to ask great guests like yourself. This one question is my favorite question in the whole interview, but it's, what's the one question I should have asked you today and I didn't?
I would say, what is the key to success and happiness?
Thor, what is the key to success and happiness?
Well, thank you for asking that question. Success and happiness are very different. You can be successful, but not necessarily happy. You can be happy and not necessarily successful in the terms of what the world defines success. Success is very easy because it's just a set of processes and systems, and it's more of a science. You've got to follow the rules in order to create success in the business. But happiness doesn't happen that way. Key to happiness is figure out how you continue to grow, how you be more, give more, become more. And what you end up doing is, in that process, it's about what you end up giving. It's not about what you get.
You actually want us to leave our computer screens and our computer and go out into the world and actually interact with human beings?
That's a really good point that you said, because it's not about going on social media and trying to do it on social media. Go up, shake somebody's hand, anybody, it doesn't matter. Connect with someone and figure out how you can brighten up
There you
their
go.
day, and it'll multiply back to you.
There you go. What a great guest you've been. I can't thank you enough for coming on. And if you would give us the website again and the email address.
Yeah. Website is thorconklin.com. All the
Okay.
social media is Thor Conklin as well. Email thor@thorconklin.com.
Thor@thorconklin.com. Thor, you've been a great guest. Thank you for being on. This is the 800-Pound Gorilla Expert Podcast, where I ask great guests like Thor Conklin 7 questions in 7 minutes, which is now gone to 10, I'm sure. But hey, it was worth it because the content was good, right? So we'll see everybody next week. Take care. Over and out.